And on today's New York shit. So New York City wants to pass a homeless bill of rights. They want to give homeless people the right to sleep outside. Yes, not even being sarcastic. I know some people might be hearing that and saying, that's like giving a fish the right to swim. That's like giving a fish some water. It sounds like saying, yo, homeless people, you now have the right to do something that you've been doing all along. You might be thinking, maybe they need to sign the bill of common sense, right? But anyway, let me give you some more information on this topic. New York City considers a homeless bill of rights, granting the right to sleep outside. New York City is poised to become the first major U.S. city to establish an explicit right to sleep in public areas with the proposed homeless bill of rights. The city council unanimously approved the bill, which aims to safeguard the rights of homeless individuals to sleep in some public spaces. This marks a departure from the city's previous approach of clearing homeless encampments. If enacted, the bill will also codify the city's long-standing right to shelter and provide additional protections for gender identity, rental assistance, and essential support for families in shelters. The rising visibility of homeless camps nationwide has prompted politicians to address the issue. However, advocates argue that criminalizing homelessness is not the solution. The proposed Bill of Rights in New York City recognizes that homeless people have rights and should not be penalized for their housing status. Instead, the focus should be on addressing the underlying issues that cause homelessness, such as housing affordability, job opportunities, and social support. The concept of the Homeless Bill of Rights has been around for over a decade, but New York's bill will be the first to explicitly protect the right to sleep outside. I do wonder what that means for somebody like me or these gentrifiers in Brooklyn who are definitely gonna take advantage of this and be like, oh, you know what? We done gentrified this mother effer. We might as well gentrify homelessness too. Taking this measure already faces uncertainty in terms of implementation, given existing regulations on setting up campsites and time limitations in public spaces. The city's shelter system has been strained, accommodating nearly 81,000 people in the past week. As Mayor Adams evaluates the bill, its potential enactment will mark a significant milestone in addressing the homelessness crisis. Proponents believe it is a compassionate and sensible response, recognizing the rights of homeless people and focusing on the long-term solutions to the root causes of the problem. So although I do understand exactly what's going on here, I am a little torn. Because what comes next? Are they gonna establish a jail cell bill of rights? Like for criminals? They gonna be like, hey criminals, here's a lovely cell, and here's 3 meals a day. And matter of fact, catch up on your reading, right? Doesn't that sound like they're about to go across the same line? It's like, why not focus on the real solutions for homelessness? Like giving them the right to sleep outside, what is that really gonna solve? Isn't the whole goal of fixing homelessness is to have less people without homes? If anything, now you just want them to embrace it. How about adjust and fix up these rent prices so that a bunch of these people who are considered homeless or may come off as homeless, who probably not, who just can't afford rent, could possibly go out and go afford some type of rent or afford some type of housing on their own. It's like nobody ever talks about the spike of New York City rent over the years. It's like for me, in my old apartment, they raised my rent 55%. How does that even make sense? That's basically like saying, yo, every 5 to 10 years or every generation, New York City, the shady ass landlords can literally say, oh, you know what? I want this whole building to be homeless by raising their rent. I want this whole community to be homeless by raising their rent. And with the Homeless Bill of Rights, it's like, yeah, hell yeah. Oh, you can't afford this? Just sleep outside. That's okay. That's totally fine. Actually, let's look at the positives and the negatives. Some of the negatives. One potential negative aspect of the Homeless Bill of Rights is the concern that it may lead to an increase in the visibility of the homeless encampments in public places. Critics already arguing that allowing people to sleep outside in public places could result in unsanitary conditions, safety issues, and a disruption of public spaces for other citizens. It may also perpetrate the cycle of homelessness by not addressing the root causes effectively. Just saying. Another concern, though, is the potential strain it could have on resources and services. With the already overwhelming demand for shelter and support services, providing additional rights to sleep outside may further stretch the limited resources, making it more challenging to meet needs of homeless individuals in terms of housing, healthcare, and other essential services. But then let's go to the positives of this. Some supporters of the Homeless Bill of Rights argue that it recognizes the basic human rights and dignity of homeless individuals individuals. It aims to challenge the criminalization of homelessness and provide some legal protection for homeless individuals who face harassment or displacement due to sleeping in these public areas. The bill also includes provisions that safeguard the rights of homeless individuals, such as access to appropriate shelter facilities, protection against discrimination, and assistance with rental support. These measures could potentially improve the living conditions and well-being of homeless individuals and their families, offering them a chance to access resources and even support that can help them transition out of homelessness. And lastly, another positive I would say is that by explicitly acknowledging the rights of homeless individuals, the bill aims to promote compassion, empathy, and a shift of societal attitudes towards homelessness. It encourages a more holistic and compassionate approach to addressing homelessness, focus on the long-term solutions rather than the punitive measures. And with the way New York City rent is set up, we need to have more compassion for homeless people because most of us aren't that far from being homeless. Can I get an amen? Amen. So yeah, as you can see, I do feel both ways about this. It's kind of like, I get what they're trying to do, but then it's kind of like, I can't see how this can backfire. Because in a way, it sounds like something that they already have. Like, you know what I mean? It's like they already have the right to sleep on the sidewalk, and they have the right to carry all their belongings in a shopping cart. So it's kind of like saying, congrats, homeless people. You now have the rights to do what you already been doing. It's like, I get it. But why are we getting caught up in all this meaningless legislation instead of focusing on what actually gets them back on their feet, or actually not even what gets them back on their feet, right? Or not even their feet, the concrete, because it's the concrete jungle, New York City. But not even that. How about they never become homeless in the first place? How about focusing on rent? We talk about the homelessness crisis in New York City, but way more people talk about the rent crisis in New York City because there's way more people in New York City paying overpriced rent than there are homeless people on the street. And both need help. But how y'all feel about the situation? Will the Homeless Bill of Rights help out New York City, or will it be another L for the city? You tell me in the comments. But anyway, moving forward though,